For today's presentation, we're going to start with an introduction to Autodesk Name User, followed by sharing a recap of the timeline, and then we're going to go over some recent updates to the Transition to Name User program. I'm going to detail the available trade-in offers for retired plans based on serial numbers and confirm eligibility to upgrade during this trade-in from an individual product to an Autodesk Industry Collection. Then I'm going to review some of the benefits of the Name User model before comparing these benefits of Name User subscriptions on the default standard plan with the benefits that are available when adding premium plans. And my portion of the presentation will conclude with recapping the current trade-in offers available. Then my colleague Joseph is going to discuss multi-product workflows that are supported by Autodesk Industry Collections along with BIM Collaborate Pro, before walking you through the required steps to complete the transition to Name User. We're going to conclude with a Q&A to answer any questions you have. So please feel free to type questions into the chat box at any time during our presentation. Okay, so to answer the question of what exactly is Autodesk Transition to Name User. So Autodesk Transition to Name User, it's a program that's a result from Autodesk recognizing the importance in knowing users as individuals. Now let me be clear and clear up any confusion by mentioning that if you already have Autodesk subscriptions with single user access type, then you essentially have automatically transitioned to Name User licenses. I want to mention that if you currently subscribe to services from companies that are pioneers in recognizing customers as individuals, companies include Netflix, Spotify, Amazon, then your personalized experience with these services, with their seemingly intuitive recommendations and their responses and their ability to anticipate your needs, that is gathered through user insights. Customers of Salesforce, Adobe, Microsoft also receive value from being named users because they have the ability to access their products from different locations and multiple devices. They get prompted with suggestions to automate regularly performed tasks. And they have tools that are provided to them to allow collaboration with their colleagues. So like the benefits provided by these other widely known services and companies, during today's webinar, we're going to present features in Autodesk Name User model and how the transition to Name User delivers a better experience for Autodesk customers. But first, we're going to recap and share the timeline of the discontinuation of Autodesk plans that are based on serial numbers and the current available trade-in offers to Name User. All right, so this slide here says a lot, and we are going to go through this hopefully as succinctly as possible. So let's just recap. February of last year, Autodesk began retiring subscriptions with multi-user access and renewal of perpetual licenses on maintenance plans. Now, they did this with a phased approach. Now, to help customers on retiring models transition to these Name User plans, new trade-in offers became available starting August 7th of last year. For multi-user subscriptions and also for perpetual licenses on maintenance plans of individual products, such as Revit, AutoCAD, or Civil 3D, the Transition to Name User provides an opportunity for you to upgrade to an Autodesk Industry Collection and receive an ongoing discounted renewal pricing structure until year 2028. Now, a lot of folks that are on this call have maintenance. So note that the clock is winding down for perpetual on maintenance, and the trade-in offer is only available for orders that are transacted before May 7th of this year. Now, that's right around the corner, but folks on maintenance probably are aware that since 2017, Autodesk has come out with programs to transition to subscription when they discontinued new licenses that are perpetual with offers to move over to subscription. So right now, this trade-in is winding down where you can take your existing perpetual on maintenance and move it over to this Named User subscription. Now, all trade-in offers will default to Named User subscription on a standard plan. For customers with 50 or more qualifying subscriptions, you can choose to upgrade to Premium Plan, which launched June 7th of last year. And we're going to go over the details and the benefits of Premium Plan in just a bit. And a reminder that there continues to be added cost savings upfront and over time when subscribing or when renewing for a multi-year term. So since our last presentation, there have been several updates on Autodesk Transition to Name User program. And I'm happy to report that these are based in a large part to Autodesk responding to partner advocacy and customer feedback. And I hope that they convey Autodesk's commitment to minimizing the disruption to your businesses as you adjust to the changing and challenging circumstances that we still find ourselves in. Now let's look at this. So as of November 2020, right? November 2nd last year, wasn't that long ago, Autodesk expanded version access for all customers to include the latest release and up to 5 versions back. Now, this is good news because a lot of folks were coming back and saying, we want to go ahead with the trade-in, but we need some older versions. So they addressed that by providing extended access for this. Now, while only 3 versions back are eligible for Autodesk technical support or software updates or hot fixes, it's still a very good solution to allow folks to move over and take advantage of this trade-in offer. Now, much more recently, February 25th of this year, Autodesk extended the timeline for customers to renew their multi-user subscriptions for an annual term by an additional year to August 7th, 2023. Autodesk has been responding and shifting the date, largely in part due to COVID-19, to allow folks to make decisions that are informed and don't feel rushed. And extremely good news is also February 25th of this year, Autodesk changed the policy to now allow customers with multi-user subscriptions to take advantage of the 2-for-1 trade-in offer at their first and all future renewals until August 7th, 2023. Depending on what date you fall into, that means you can renew an annual term multi-user subscription now, maybe again, and then still qualify for a 2-for-1 trade-in. And we're going to talk about that offer more, but this is good news. And I'll also mention that Autodesk has expressed a focus to provide customers with flexible purchasing options that align value with usage, and they are accelerating their efforts to introduce a cloud-based license solution for occasional users in the second half of this year. So we don't know too much about that right now, but we know this is on their roadmap. They are focusing on it, and they plan on launching something very soon. All right, so now let's look at what products are being phased out and what the time frame is to take advantage of these remaining trade-in offers. So trade-in offers are available dependent on the product type being traded in. And as I mentioned, note that maintenance plans have a very limited time left to trade into named user subscription. So if you have standalone maintenance, you have an active maintenance plan with standalone perpetual, at your first renewal before May 7th of this year, you can trade in each standalone license for 1 subscription at a cost consistent with what you would pay today to renew. And then going forward, you can renew at an ongoing discount until you're 2028. And that discount means that Autodesk will cap a price increase at no more than 5% every other year. So since a lot of folks on this call may fall into this category, I'll mention, so May 7th is the last day Autodesk, in fact, May 6th is the last day Autodesk will take an order and process it to trade in any perpetual on maintenance to named user subscription. But you have like August 4th, let's say. So if your maintenance plan has a renewal date up to August 4th of this year, you qualify. You just got to get that in and process by May 6th. Now, moving to network maintenance, very similar. The only difference here is that for each network license you have on maintenance, you can trade in for 2 subscriptions for 1 named user each. And that cost will be a total cost of what you pay today. So what you would pay to renew 1, you would get 2. And you also get that ongoing discount until you're 2028 of no more than 5% every other year. Now, for multi-user subscriptions, whether you purchase this at full price or if your multi-user subscription was something that resulted from a previous move to subscription from perpetual, at your renewal time, any renewal time, before August 7th of year 2023, you can trade in one multi-user subscription for two subscriptions for one named user each, and again, at a total cost consistent with what you would pay today to renew that one multi-user subscription. And you also receive the ongoing discount capped off at 5%, only taking place every other year until year 2028. And anyone here that has multi-user subscriptions that have a date that they existed already, you bought it multi-year, you're expiring in year 2022 or year 2023, you're still going to qualify for a 2-for-1 trade-in and the ongoing discounted renewal pricing structure until year 2028, when your renewal time arrives. Now, I'll just point out 3 things. Trade-in offer reflected here on this slide is only available at renewal time, not midterm, at renewal time. Trade-in costs here are comparable with what you would be paying to renew your existing product today. So what you would be paying if you were to just keep going with what you have is going to be comparable to trading in and taking advantage of getting on a named user subscription model. And you get the discounting pricing component I mentioned. And also, trade-in allows for eligible individual products to upgrade to an eligible industry collection. So a lot of folks are interested in taking an individual product to an Autodesk industry collection. This trade-in allows you to do that at renewal time. Now, as paths to name user include opportunities to upgrade, as I mentioned, my colleague Joseph is going to review some key benefits of Autodesk Industry Collection, which are available in the following 3 industry categories: Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Collection, Product Design and Manufacturing Collection, Media and Entertainment Collection, and these 3 are the collections that contain solutions targeted for these industries. Now, Joseph's going to present on how leveraging Autodesk multi-product workflows can help you imagine, design, and create original solutions to complex industry challenges in a bit. But before we get to that, let me just reiterate and cover how you can take advantage of upgrading to an Autodesk Industry Collection during trade-in. All right, let's look at this together here. So if you have a perpetual on maintenance, so you have perpetual software on it, active maintenance, and that software is an individual Autodesk product like AutoCAD, Revit, or Civil 3D, let's say, you can go ahead and upgrade to an eligible industry collection available until May 7th, 2021 at your trade-in renewal time. Now, if you have multi-user M2S subscription, so this is subscriptions that are a result from moving from perpetual at some past point to subscription, then if you have an individual product, you also can upgrade those individual products to an eligible industry collection at trade-in renewal time anytime before August 7th, 2023. Now, if you have subscriptions that are multi-user, and these have nothing to do with they were previously perpetual, you did a trade-in before, you just needed multi-user subscriptions and you purchased them. And they're individual products such as AutoCAD, Revit, Civil 3D. You can go ahead at any point in your subscription term and talk about upgrading these. So if you have multi-user subscriptions and you want to go ahead and upgrade them from a point product to a collection, you can go ahead and do that. Now for non-M2S named user subscriptions, so again, you purchased outright subscriptions with single user access type, now they're rolled into this named user model and they're an individual product, you also can go ahead and have these upgraded to an industry collection during your active subscription term. And for those of you who just want to purchase additional or new named user subscription of Autodesk Industry Collection, you can do so at any time. You can go ahead and have that prorated or co-termed to an existing contract, or you can start a new contract with a full annual or multi-year term. And a reminder that you can save more upfront and over time by subscribing or renewing for a multi-year term. Now, while Autodesk has plans to lose your number, the retirement of these plans based on serial numbers are being replaced with plans based on people, with the goal of improving the administrator and user experience. The majority of Autodesk customers, over 80%, have already adopted named user as a model. So these trade-in offers are meant to assist the remaining transition. And as I mentioned, if you have single user access type, you essentially already have named user. But as part of this transition to named user, Autodesk is also expanding existing and offering new plans that provide customers with a more tailored administrative support, security, and also reporting capabilities. Now, the standard plan is an evolution and an improvement of what you know today as a subscription with single user access. And it's recommended for individuals and also for small businesses who will benefit from these essential tools. Autodesk's newest plan, Premium Plan, is meant for larger businesses that require more advanced tools. You get all the benefits of standard and more, and we're going to cover that in a future slide. For large-scale global organizations that need the highest level of flexibility and support, Autodesk continues to offer enterprise business agreements. And as I mentioned, Autodesk is working towards rolling out a plan to address those who just have a need for occasional use. That is coming. So when everybody is a named user, the benefits unlocked are going to include the opportunity to optimize licensing costs, to increase productivity, and to reduce IT costs and burden. When everyone's a named user, so like business owners, IT managers, they're going to have visibility into how employees are using the software that they've invested in. Usage reporting allows customers to make more data-driven decisions, where licensing can be optimized and future needs are going to become more predictable. Named user provides each person dedicated access to the software they need, wherever they are, without any interruption, regardless of where or how they access. And in our current climate, productivity relies now more than ever on the ability for all of us to connect remotely and to limit the downtime. Connectivity wherever you're working is one of the biggest benefits of named user model. And Autodesk and we anticipate that this is going to not really go back to how things used to be, even when we return to our offices. And with simplified and secured license management, IT administrators no longer have to manage network servers or track anonymous serial numbers. There's no more requesting home use licenses, no more juggling licenses from a shared license pool when users let you know that they have access restrictions because it's maxed out. So restating some of the benefits of named user for IT administrators. When everyone's a named user, the benefits unlocked include the ability to make smarter decisions based on usage data. And it's going to help you optimize your purchasing, improve the productivity, and it's also going to allow you to provide support or training where needed. You're going to have that increased productivity when all users have the dedicated access to the products they need wherever they need it. No need to track down unused but checked out licenses when users report no available licenses from shared license pool. And when licenses are hosted by Autodesk and assigned to users, there's no need to manage network servers or to track serial numbers for compliance. And users can access these licenses anywhere they're working. And removing, I'll mention, access of licenses for a user, it takes less than a minute to perform. And the change happens almost instantly, with the freed up subscription remaining available for the duration of the subscription term for reassignment as needed. Now, users working remotely and those managing remote users gain accessibility because named users, there's no need to request home user licenses or spend any time trying to get access to the network server to check out a license. The named user model, it automatically includes support for virtual desktops as well as installation on up to 3 devices, locally or virtually. And customers are taking advantage of data management and collaboration in the cloud across teams and projects with products like Autodesk Docs, BIM Collaborate Pro, and Fusion 360. And for end users, it's just the continuation towards a more relevant user experience, from highlighting your personal achievements to insights on your collaboration habits. Autodesk plans to tailor support and learning content for your users based on insights. And if you have visited Autodesk account, which is the interface where you manage and access your Autodesk software, you may have noticed a new feature called Insights. It's currently in preview stage. Now, Autodesk My Insights, as they call it, it's information that's shown to you, your users, based on their usage of their Autodesk product. And the content is designed to be informative and actionable. And you can expect a more unique and personalized experience to these products over time. Now, in addition to named user, Autodesk did introduce this premium plan subscription. And this is based on feedback from customers who manage larger numbers of users. They were indicating that they needed some more advanced support, administration, and security features that wasn't available in the standard plan. So some of the challenges they cite is that they have a lot of users. They have not a lot of time to manage and manually create and assign access for these users. And they wanted some more secure product access. They wanted users to log in using their company ID and password. They also required support time to be greatly minimized because that affects downtime. And they were having trouble identifying who was using what product. So it was making it very difficult for them to optimize their subscription costs or their license usage. Also, some of them had employees and subsidiaries and contractors based globally, and they wanted to purchase centrally for those. So Autodesk News Plan Premium, it's meant for these larger businesses requiring these more advanced tools. So let's compare the two plans side by side. And this is good just so that you can have a recap of what's included in the default standard plan as well, right? So if the features of premium plan, it might work best for you, but standard plan includes two-step verification to provide more secure access, bulk import, in case you have a lot of users for faster user creation. It does include product usage reporting to view and export product usage by product or version, and it's at an aggregate level. And it includes 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, Autodesk voice support for administrators and global travel rates. Now, that's all included by default in standard. Now, with premium, you get all of that, plus you're going to get the option to configure single sign-on. So with single sign-on configured, users can use their company network credentials to sign into their Autodesk products. And in the future, Autodesk will extend this SSO to include group sync capabilities. So it's fully integrated with Autodesk user management with Active Directory. Now, with premium, you also get user level reporting. So it gives you the ability to view and export product usage with user details by each individual user, allowing your admins to tie product usage and frequency back to an individual user or a team. And it offers the opportunity during an active term, through reassignment, or when considering new purchases or at time of renewal to really optimize that. Also with premium, they have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week voice support. So in addition to the support that you receive as a customer of Microsol resources, you can also leverage this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for administrator voice support. So that'll help get issues resolved even quicker and users back up and running. And as I mentioned, centralized purchasing is their additional benefit of premium, and it includes the extra territory rights that were previously covered. Now that's within the premium plan. And you can also, with premium, if you're a parent company, you can buy for all your subsidiaries and you can simplify purchasing and management. So before I pass this presentation on to Joseph, let me recap the current trade-in offers and the valid until dates here. So let's look at this together. So if you have standalone maintenance, you can trade in at renewal time until May 7, 2021, one standalone maintenance for one named user subscription on a standard plan by default. And if you would like and are interested in premium plan and you qualify for premium plan based on eligibility, you can go ahead and have that added. Now for network maintenance, at trade-in renewal time until May 7th, 2021, you can trade in each network maintenance for 2 named user subscriptions, and also you can go ahead and add premium plan. So customers on active maintenance will trade in at a similar price as if they were to renew their maintenance today. And upon that trade-in, they're going to get that discounted renewal pricing structure until year 2028. Keep in mind, if you have an individual product on active maintenance plan, during this trade-in, you can go ahead and trade into an eligible Autodesk industry collection. And if you meet those eligibility requirements and you're interested in adding premium plan, you can also go ahead and do that. And you can do that after trade-in or, towards the future if something that you find beneficial down the road. And recapping the trade-in offer for multi-user subscriptions. Now, this is all multi-user subscriptions, including move to subscription licenses that came from Perpetual. And this offer has been extended, so it's available until August 7th, 2023. If you have a multi-user subscription, you can trade in each of those subscriptions and receive 2 named user subscriptions on the default standard plan. And if interested, you can go ahead and add premium plan onto that contract. So I'll restate that this trade-in results in each named user subscription priced roughly half of what a multi-user subscription renewal would cost. Eligible individual products can upgrade to an Autodesk industry collection at trade-in. It's going to be a much lower cost. It's going to be a little higher than maybe keeping your individual product, but much lower. And it's going to be discounted until year 2028. This is for all multi-user subscriptions that trade into named user. And you have the option to upgrade to premium plan at an additional cost if interested and you meet those eligibility requirements. So I'm going to be back for the Q&A, but for now, I am going to go ahead and pass this off to my colleague, Joseph.
Thank you, Rowena, for that wonderful introduction. As she said, my name is Joseph Freund. I'm an application specialist here at Microsol Resources. I've been here for about 1.5 years, supporting training and consulting for various products sold by Autodesk and McNeil. And so if you're an existing customer of Microsol Resources and you contact support, it's very likely that you may reach me or one of my colleagues. Okay, so before I get into the technical aspects of this transition, I just want to cover some of the products that are available with subscriptions to the industry collections. Now, I may not cover everything here, but I just want to go through what each of these collections has and whether this is appropriate for your needs. So there's the Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Collection, commonly referred to as the AEC Collection. There's also the Product Design and Manufacturing Industry Collection, commonly referred to as PD&M, so that's more of a fabrication and manufacturing focus. And finally, there's the Media and Entertainment Collection, commonly referred to as the M&E Collection. So for very advanced visualization, for rendering or media and entertainment, the products in that collection should help greatly. The AEC collection has products like generative design, which is exclusive to that collection, allowing architects and designers to quickly produce various design alternatives based on defined goals and constraints. You can also develop conceptual designs using Format Pro, which is good for concept sketching. And then it can connect with InfraWorks or Revit for design development and documentation. You can leverage design automation with Dynamo and visual scripting, which is available for Revit and Civil 3D. Also, as part of the AEC collection, you get access to all of the AutoCAD vertical products, including Plant 3D, Architecture MEP, as well as the mobile and web app. Now, there are a lot of productivity studies that Autodesk has done for each one of these verticals. I think for the architecture tool set, you can save up to 70% of your time using that, so it's certainly an advantage to use the tool that is specific to the trade that you're working in. And now available with the AEC collection is Autodesk Docs, which is a document management module that is on the new Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. And I'll touch on that a little bit later. Now on to the PD&M collection. You have advanced simulation where you can look for fatigue failures and check for excessive vibration. Inventor Cam provides 2.5 to 5 axis milling, turning, and mill turn capabilities. You've got Inventor Nesting, which helps you to reduce raw material waste by generating multiple outcomes and comparing them for the best possible cost savings. There's Inventor Tolerance Analysis, which works right inside of Inventor and makes sure that all of your assemblies will fit together nicely. And really with this collection, you can have a system level design because of all of the different products that you have available in here. And finally, you also have all of those AutoCAD verticals available within this collection as well. Now, with the M&E collection, you have a set of 3D content creation software that enables creative studios that are working in film, TV, or games to really scale up their rendering and simulation capabilities. You can create stunning renderings with Monte Carlo ray tracing in Arnold, or build guided liquid simulations with Bifrost. And the M&E collection really provides visual artists with all of the tools that they need. So it really allows studios to hire artists more flexibly by easily providing those artists with the access to the creative tools that they need, and through this simplified and straightforward software deployment. So, okay, we'll move on here. I just want to touch a little bit more on the AEC collection. This is most of the main software that's included in there. You've got Revit, which is a central BIM authoring software, to Civil 3D, a lot of infrastructure software in here, clash detection, structural analysis with robot, vehicle tracking as well. So a lot of great products in this collection. And now, as I mentioned before, it includes Autodesk Docs, which is that main repository in the cloud on Autodesk's new Construction Cloud platform. So anybody familiar with BIM 360 Docs will kind of understand what Autodesk Docs is, but this is on their new Autodesk Construction Cloud platform, and I'll cover that in a little more detail in a couple slides here. So here are a list of all of the new features in Revit 2021. It comes packaged with Dynamo 2.6. Like I said before, you have access to generative design if you have it with the AEC collection. It's exclusive to that collection, so that's the only place that you'll be able to use the generative design tool set. And a lot of other features such as slanted walls. There's also this Revit add-in, issues add-in, and this brings the issues that anyone familiar with BIM 360 design will be able to install this add-in and see their issues directly within their Revit model, kind of bringing the issue tracking and resolution closer within the peripheral for any of those users that are actively editing the Revit model. Okay, so now to introduce this Autodesk Construction Cloud. The idea here is that by hosting projects within a common data environment, you can have access to all of these different tools and modules of the Autodesk Construction Cloud. So the project data can inform every stage of the building project, from design and pre-construction to construction and into the operations. This is really kind of the goal for any building project, to be able to identify issues, track progress and costs, and then, in the end, when you've completed the building and there are the final sign-offs, hand over the keys of this digital database to the operations or facility management, and then they can be well on their way to building a digital twin of this building to better track the energy usage and just understand how the building can be most efficient throughout its life cycle. Now, as the design portion of the Autodesk Construction Cloud, there is BIM Collaborate Pro. Anybody familiar with BIM 360 Design will recognize the docs, Revit Cloud work sharing, design collaboration. All of this was available in BIM 360 Design. This is also available with BIM Collaborate Pro on the Autodesk Construction Cloud, but with the addition of model coordination, which allows for automated clash detection, clash grouping, and coordination between project team members regarding those clashes. So anyone familiar with BIM 360 Coordinate will kind of understand the functionality there, but again, this is all the new product that is available on the Autodesk Construction Cloud. And this is an add-on. It just pairs very nicely with the AEC collection, and by allowing this sort of cloud collaboration with Revit, Civil 3D, and Plant 3D. So a lot of great potential here as we move a lot of this project data to the cloud. Now, this is a visualization of all of the different synchronizations and usage of BIM 360 Design, as well as BIM Collaborate Pro. You've got people working on models in 150 different countries, 70,000 plus active projects, 150 plus models in the cloud, and an average of 10 million updates to these cloud models per month. So it's a massive infrastructure to allow this sort of collaboration from really anywhere in the world. So any firm that had BIM 360 Design going into this pandemic really didn't skip a beat, because they were already set up to work remotely or work without their office's file storage infrastructure. So it's a very helpful tool here. Okay, now on to the technical part of this presentation. So for those of you that are contract managers or primary or secondary admins, this is the part that you will want to pay close attention. So this transition to named user can happen in 5 steps. Really, it could be 4, but I just want to include every little step here. So after a contract expires, you will have 30 days to set up the licenses on the new named user licensing system. So step 1 and 2 will be to add users into the Autodesk account and then assign them the products that are available in the account. So let me just Alt-Tab over here to my account page. So I'm logged in here. Over here in user management, you'll see by user and by product. So this is all part of the new view. If I go to by product here, I just have one product in this account. This is Forge. So this is what all of the BIM 360 and Autodesk Construction Cloud is built on top of, but it's neither here or there. So if I want to add and assign members to this product all in one action, I can go in here to the product, assign users, and then I can go ahead and type their names in here. Now I'm already in the system, so I could assign myself, or I could go ahead and type in here John space Doe space, and then type in the email address, make sure I put it in those brackets there, and then I would be able to invite John Doe. So by clicking assign here, I would both be adding John Doe to the account and assigning him a seat of Forge. Now, instead of doing this on an individual basis, if you have many members that you want to add all at once, you can go to import to assign, download this CSV file. It's really simple. It just has first name, last name, and email address. So if you have a long list of users you need to add and assign, this can be a very straightforward approach. And particularly if you have the subscription to the AEC collection, that really makes user management a lot easier because you wouldn't have to assign those individual products. You can really capture a lot of products with the AEC collection by assigning that. You can also assign by user over here as well, and you have the same sort of options to invite just a single user, multiple, or import that CSV. So those are the options there for adding and assigning users. Let's see here, try and go through this next step quickly here. So the next step will be for the licensing mode to be switched from network to this new named user. And this can be done in a couple of different ways. Let me just switch back to this window. I'll show you the manual way that this can be done. So I have AutoCAD opened here. And this would need to be done prior to the end of that 30-day window. The users would need to come in here, go to their Autodesk ID in the upper right corner, go to Manage License, and then you'll be able to see which license that they have here. So if you're ever wanting to confirm whether they are pulling the named user license, you can confirm here. This says user license. If it was network license, it would say network license. So if they're currently on network and they need to change to the named user license, they would just choose change license type here, and then they would click, they wouldn't be signed in already, but they would click sign in with Autodesk ID right here, and then they would be prompted to restart AutoCAD, and it will restart with that new licensing mode. So this is the window that would appear for them if they were already on the network license. Now, the other way that this licensing mode can be switched is with this Autodesk licensing support tool. Now, if you Google configure named user license, you'll be brought to this page where you can download this tool. I've already downloaded it, and I have extracted it to this folder here. So I'll just show you what's inside. This exe is what will help accomplish this. So all you will need to do is open the command prompt. I'll just snap that off to the side and snap, sorry, this window over there. So I have opened the command prompt. It's best if you do it as administrator. I already have administrative rights on this computer, so it should be fine. I'm just going to copy this address over here, and then I'll type in CD space, and then go ahead and paste that address. As you can see, it's just the C, Autodesk, and then ADSK licensing support tool, just wherever you have saved that. And that will make sure that that is the active, the current working directory. And then you'll just need to type in ADSK licensing support tool. And then if you want to reset just a single product, you would do -R space. And then if you know the product key, which you can find on our website or Autodesk website, you can type that in, and then :user. Otherwise, you can list off a bunch of different product keys here, and then say :user. You can do it in that way. But if you need to switch all of the software that's on a single machine, then you can type all: user. and I can show you what that looks like. It'll give you an output of everything that's installed and what it did. In this case, everything was set to user. So just to show you how this can change, I'll change all of these to network. As you can see, it now changes it from user to network. I can switch it back from network to user, just like that. So this works for everything from 2017 onward. So I definitely recommend reviewing this page here, and then coming up with some sort of plan for how you're going to switch all of the users over. Now, if you are not going to have any network licenses anymore, then you'll need to decommission the license server. So that'll be done just with LM Tools. First step will be to open LM Tools, go to your Start, Stop, Reread tab. You might need to click Force Server Shutdown and then Stop Server. And so that'll stop the services and allow you to fully uninstall the program. But then the program can be uninstalled in Add Remove Programs as the Autodesk Network License Manager. So you can go ahead and fully decommission it there. And really, this would be a good test before that 30 days ends, because you want to be able to test that nobody else is using or pulling those network licenses. They've been switched over to the named user, and that's just a good way to test that out. Otherwise, you can use JTB Flex Report to see which users are still pulling those licenses, and then ask them to change that licensing mode accordingly. Okay, and then the final step will just be to inform your users about the new sign-in process. When you add them to the Autodesk account, they will receive an email invitation so that they will at least know that amount, but you'll just need to communicate to them that when they open the software for the first time, or in subsequent times after changing the license mode, they'll just need to choose sign in with Autodesk ID, and as long as they have already created a password associated with their email, then they should be good to go. Now, just some final recommendations before wrapping up here. I recommend that you try to confirm that the switch of the licensing mode has been successful to named user. Sometimes in high trust environments, it just goes out as an email, and then that 30th day comes and there are some issues with some users that didn't execute, or they didn't run the command prompt as administrator. Sometimes that can cause the licensing mode to not switch over properly. Additionally, this licensing requires an internet connection. So if there are very tight firewall settings or proxy configurations, then you'll want to review some of the information on the Autodesk website for the list of URLs that you'll need to whitelist. Additionally, these products can be used offline for up to 30 days after activation. So if you have a laptop that somebody takes into the field, it's important to note that they can use that offline, but I would recommend that either ensuring that that mobile laptop has access to a solid internet connection. Otherwise, it can connect to a free hotspot somewhere, and then the firewall at that hotspot can prevent the licensing service from properly communicating and then activating. So I recommend, if ever going into the field with a laptop, to just disable the Wi-Fi adapter altogether after it has been activated. And then decommission that license server if there are no multi-user licenses. There's no reason to keep that going, and you can also close up those ports that you may have needed to open to have the Network License Manager function properly. So it'd be best to just decommission that. And finally, I'm just kidding here, but don't go on vacation on the 30th day after the contract anniversary. That is just kidding. You can take vacation whenever you please. Just keep in mind that if you are going to be out of the office on that day, and you are the typical, you are the point person for a lot of these things, that either you confirm that successful switch, or you've tested things out ahead of time to make sure that all of the users will be up and running with the software just fine. Okay, so just to wrap it up, I just want to remind everyone that customers of Microsol Resources can reach out to support, our technical support team, for any sort of support requests, issues with licensing, or any questions for this transition to named user. We have a few blog posts for the transition to named user. Here's a link to one for the best practices written by John Semmel. Just some things to be aware of as you enter this process. So feel free to check that out and let us know if you have any questions.